But
Yeah, definitely.
so I don't know if you want to do a little bit of an introduction so people know who we are. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
we've been making
Absolutely, we
game
should.
videos for a while, but we haven't done much sitting down and just
Yeah,
talking with people.
not a whole lot of FaceTime, that's for
No,
sure. No.
yeah. You want to start it
Yeah.
off?
Sure. Yeah, my real name's Tyler. I go by Schmitty though online, have for years. I live in Ohio, so East Coast. So you'll find us a lot of times, we're on networks with East Coast, so we're not on super late compared to everybody, on the West Coast. Um, but yeah, I grew up in Ohio. Um, I'm a plumber by trade, if you really want to know.
Don't get too personal.
But yeah, exactly. But that's a whole nother story you don't want to know about actually. But yeah, just we love VR, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of how we got into this. Into a little bit of everything, videography, stuff like that. But yeah, it's turning into
Yeah.
VR now.
So
Sadly.
we got into VR in 2016. That was when we first we got the Rift, and we actually on the same day we bought a package where you got a gaming PC and a Rift, and that was back when the Rift just came with a Xbox controller, one sensor. Didn't even get touch controllers yet, so we had to go buy
Nope.
touch controllers after that. So it was kind of an expensive endeavor to get into. But since then, I think we've pretty much been hooked. And I'm actually from Ohio too. Me and Tyler actually grew up together. I mean, we lived I mean, I could throw a rock in his house. So I'm actually in Virginia now. I've lived here since 2006, I think. So, but we've always kept in touch with. I mean, I go back to Ohio quite a bit. He comes down here, but we've always kept in touch through video games. And it started. We went to school together in Pennsylvania, actually, and that was when my video gaming really started. We started playing a lot of Halo on the Xbox, and we did that. We did that all the time. So I mean, we would stay up all night playing Halo. So I mean, and then moving to Virginia, we play a lot of Call of Duty and Halo, and I don't even know what else back in the day. But then, so 2016, we got the gaming PCs and the VR, and then it just kind of went to a whole other level. Like now, instead of just hanging out playing Xbox, it's like we're actually hanging out. You know what I mean? Like we go into VR and we're like hanging out together. It's just a whole other level compared to what the Xbox was. So, and we got Steve XM. Nice. Steve XM is East Coast too. He said he's New York. So.
Oh, nice, cool. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I was gonna say he'd be up pretty early if he was.
West Coast if he was West Coast, this would be
yeah.
Especially if we would have started when we were actually trying to start.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
This is a little later than when we were trying to start, but that's all
right. That's for sure. Yeah. Actually, my VR, I went back to. I mean, truly, I go back to the what was it? The Gear VR developer kit.
That's
which
right.
that goes back to I think the Note 4 I think was used in that, which actually I still have it.
You still have the Gear VR. You don't get rid of anything.
Yeah.
You keep.
I have the Gear VR and I have the Note 4 to go with it and extra batteries. Just so, nostalgia purposes. I still have all the N64 stuff. I love all that stuff. I break it out. Dreamcast. We used to play Dreamcast online. We played Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
That was. I had to have a 56K internet connection to play that.
That was ridiculous.
That was amazing though.
I remember.
I think it was it was huge.
Weren't we playing Halo online before it actually had an online thing? Weren't you doing something when we lived in Pennsylvania?
That was online. Oh yeah.
That was
when Halo. You're right. It was only LAN at first, so you could hook the Xbox into a computer and run off servers on there.
Yeah,
that's what we were doing.
That was ridiculous. So and
that was pretty cool.
You're back to the Gear VR thing. That was actually the first time I tried VR too. Was at your house on the Gear VR because I had an iPhone, and at that time they didn't. That was just when all the cardboard stuff was getting popular and all that stuff. But
it was a little after actually. Though.
Yeah, that was probably after. But I remember trying that, and I remember I remember the one game, you had some game where it was like a mouse. You were a mouse or something. You had to get away from the cat or something. I don't know what it was. But it literally felt like your head was on the floor and you were just a head running around on the floor trying to get away. It was the weirdest thing. It was super weird. But it was still, even that, and that was, not even a very good VR experience. But it was still wow, this is really awesome. You could really see where it was going to go. And, it's just kind of taken off from there.
My favorite for that, there was a game where you were a bullet. And you had to dodge your head and steer the bullet. It was kind of like a freeze frame thing. That was amazing.
I do remember that.
Of early Super Hot a little bit.
for sure.
But that was so much fun. I love that game.
That was cool. I wonder why none of that stuff ever. I guess. I mean, back then you didn't have motion controllers. You know what I mean? So I guess now it wouldn't be as. It wouldn't be as cool, but it's still fun. I mean, even for the Go,
absolutely.
Like that kind of game for the Go would be a great game. You know what
I mean? Oh, it is absolutely.
So we got
it's all head guided though.
Yeah, well, that's what you would need for the Gear VR kind of. I mean the Go, it does have the one controller, but I mean that doesn't really do a whole lot. But we got great Tantrum in here too saying hi, so it's just saying what's up to him.
Yeah, here you go.
Is that the original?
That's the developer one. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Which actually, I mean, form factor wise, I mean, it really hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, truthfully.
For the Gear VR, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like Fresnel lenses in that thing, or what kind of lenses are in there?
That's a good question. I don't even look back on it now.
Yeah, I don't have no idea.
Oh yeah, I mean there is, but they're not as dramatic as they are now.
Right. Obviously. Yeah. That was like real early.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of curvature to them or anything, but
there's like it has the rings in it still though. Like you can see the rings.
Yeah. It still has
crazy.
That. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It does. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it doesn't. No, you know what?
It doesn't.
I thought I saw them, but I don't think I do now.
Yeah. No. If you guys could, just real quick, if you guys could let us know in the chat, like our voice levels, to see if our voice levels are pretty equal, like whether the sound all right, because we really have no idea what we're doing. This is
if you guys notice anything like out of whack or
kind of spur of the moment.
Yep, for sure.
And Tyler took so much time getting us ready that I'm almost out of coffee.
Oh,
so.
Whatever. I can't carry all the bit rate that it requires. To stream to one computer, run all the software.
That's an Ohio thing. That's just being in the country in Ohio. I'm in Virginia, so I'm a little closer to the city. I'm not in the city, but I have get some pretty ridiculous internet here, so hopefully it works better now.
I'm still running about 120 meg. But you're running like 500 or something like that.
It's a gig. I don't mean to brag, but it's a gig.
I mean, that's
supposedly that's what they advertise. I mean, who knows if that's actually what you get.
Yeah, and I think isn't your uploads at like 50, I think too.
I have no idea. I don't even know. So we got Steve XM's doing the dishes. He said he's gonna chat some more when he gets his hands dry. So that's awesome. But hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Right.
The dishes gotta get done.
True that. Yeah, no, I think we've had our hands on about every VR thing. We've tried everything. I've tried the, WMR stuff. Which I like, sans the controllers. I can't, and that's kind of what keeps me away from the Vive too, as well. Is just I don't like the ergonomics of the controller.
Right. I think that's a lot of people's complaints.
It goes back to like Xbox, just because kind of the same designer for the controllers and stuff. Maybe that's why I like the Rift better, but.
Yeah, the touch controllers are hard to beat.
Like a stick.
You are with the Vive. Yeah, I mean the touch controllers are hard to beat. It's going to be interesting when the Knuckles or the Valve Index controller they want to call them Valve Index controllers now, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see how those compare. You know, I mean, I know some people have had them, but we haven't tried those yet. Right. So that'll be interesting to see. I do like the idea of being able to open your hand and the controller stays there, to where now you're just kind of releasing your two fingers when you throw stuff with a touch controller and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see how tight it is on your hand. Like, I mean, can you really throw that thing and that controller stay on there, or you still got to be, you know what I mean? And I don't know if there's a backup either. Is there a strap still? Because I would think so.
Some type of strap. Yeah, there's a strap.
Because that'd be kind of scary if there wasn't a strap. I mean, you'd be breaking windows.
Yeah, so. People will throw it.
Yeah. So
that's for sure.
Great Tantrum asks what we think about the Valve Index, Oculus Rift S, and the Oculus Quest, which we're kind of starting to get into now a little bit. So
yeah, man, it's a hard topic. Look, okay,
it's so much. I mean, it's just crazy. Like people are just so
Well, people are knocking it, and I think it's
which you talking about Rift S
price point? Yeah, I mean all of it. Quest, Rift S. I mean, you can't give it away. First off,
right?
And at the same time, I mean, you have to make it, where people can buy it. Affordable. I mean, some people, younger guys and stuff. I mean, you're not just going to drop $400 to try it, even at that. If you're not sold on it. So it's still tough. I mean, especially with the Rift S, because then you have to have the PC to handle it too.
Yeah, I think the Rift S was definitely just a refresh for them, and they wanted to make it I mean, their whole thing is getting a bunch of people into VR. They want to get, billions of people, I think they claimed, into VR.
Right.
And, they're not going to do that with a super high-end headset that you have to have, a 2080 card to be able to run. I think hopefully we're going to get to that level. I really hope we do. But I think their whole thing is just to get more people into VR. And, I mean, a lot of people do have the argument that that's what the Quest is for. And I mean, I do kind of agree with that. I mean, that is what the Quest is for, right? I mean,
absolutely. Well, it's for people too who don't want to have to buy a PC and want to have those experiences.
Yeah.
Because now you only have that $400 invested in it. That's more feasible than putting another grand into a computer, building it, buying it, whatever that may be.
Right.
That you're only using for one purpose. So, and not that you can't use it for other purposes, but I mean, the intent of buying it is for that. So I don't know. I mean, the Quest is good. I feel for anybody who's in VR now and probably watching this, not probably a good investment just because you're going to be downgraded on all your games.
Well, I mean, I think as long as you're still keeping PC VR, like, I mean, I still am excited about the Quest just to be able to take it places. You know what I mean? I think the ability to just walk around a big room, not have any wires and stuff is pretty cool. But it'll be interesting to see. We've played with PC VR for so long. It'll be interesting to see what it really looks like and how it feels, because I mean, graphics are a big deal, but in VR not quite as much always. I mean, they still are, but that immersion, I mean, you don't have to have, I mean, we play, games that are cartoon games. You play like Rec Room and stuff like that, and after you're in there, you don't even really remember that, you're playing a cartoon basically. You know what I mean? It's just a whole nother world. So it will be interesting to see. I think I'll probably get a Quest just because I want something to be able to take places and show people, and it's just, I mean, to me, like with all the headsets, I'm pretty excited about all of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just excited about new stuff coming out. So it's all
forward progress.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Sean, Steve said that there's a slight echo. I know
it's
showing up to your inputs, so I don't know if you want to try and knock one of those out real quick.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that.
It's up to you. And the settings in Streamlab.
So it's going to pull up Streamlabs here. So if Steve XM could probably help us out with this.
Yeah, if you go into the settings where the video vocals are for your levels, you should be able to kick the one off where I'm showing up by myself. Just turn it off. Just mute it.
So mute that one? Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully
as long as I'm still showing up on your other one.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can let us know if that's working better. I'm very amateur to Streamlabs, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. So we were gonna have Tyler run it because he's a little bit better with it, but his internet connection isn't quite capable.
Yeah.
So Steve XM said echo is gone, so that's great. Definitely appreciate that feedback. Help us out, So that must have been what it was.
Yeah, I knew. So, for whatever reason, it was showing twice.
Right. So
I figured that was it.
So as far as the Valve Index, it's just so hard right now because we don't have any info about it. You know what I mean? Like, we only have kind of speculation and what people think it's going to be, but I almost feel like Valve is trying to take Oculus on head on. I mean, the first picture they put out, the first official picture they put out, was definitely highlighting that IPD adjustment, which the Rift S doesn't have. So I mean, that was a clear kind of shot at Oculus, I feel. And then the second thing is they said that they are releasing the info, so they're actually going to release the actual info about the headset on May 1st.
Right.
May 1st is F8. You know what I mean?
They released that. They were sitting on those photos. Before they dropped them, or they pushed them out. Because the second the Oculus pushes something, they want to jump in and get in on the action, so that they're not the only conversation piece. So I mean, it's all marketing. I mean,
I think they were kind of trying to wait to see what Oculus was gonna announce, because we got these pictures after they announced the Rift S. You know what I mean? After they said what the specs were and everything about it. So once they push that out, then they know. You know what I mean? Like, well, we can top this or whatever it may be.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Valve owns Steam, and they make most of their money off of game sales. So if they allow Oculus to take all that market share of the VR to where so many people are buying their games through Oculus and not on Steam, that's a big blow to them.
Oh yeah. I mean, ultimately, probably the majority of their money, it's not made on headsets; it's software.
Yeah. So even still, that's what they're gonna do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just like we said, Fortnite. Okay, it's a free game, but it's
Right.
one of the highest grossing games there is because of the content, and that's what people, that's where they're making their money is volume of content. Because there's no cost in content. I mean, there is initially, but it's all pushed out digitally. So, there's no, hardware they're actually selling.
Right. So I think that is so somebody asked if it's possible to make you louder, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Do what?
To make you louder. You can.
Yeah, I can probably. Yeah, I can.
You can up it. Yeah. You can up your mic volume probably a little bit. Yeah. So I guess you need to be a little bit louder. Yeah, but yeah, so I definitely think they are looking to take Oculus on some. I think those are definitely some blows they're trying to throw to Oculus, and calling them out on their decisions for no IPD adjustment, which I don't love. I mean, I'm really hoping that I don't have any issues with that because, I mean, I use the Go, and the Go works okay for me, and there's no IPD adjustment. But I don't even think there's a software IPD adjustment on the Go, is there? I know there will be on the Rift S, but I don't think there is.
It's because they're widening the lenses on it.
Yeah.
What that solved that.
So, I mean, hopefully I won't have an issue, but my IPD is really low. Like when I use my Rift, I use it on the absolute lowest setting, and I honestly think I could use it even lower. Like if it would go a little bit lower, I think it would help me. Well, the Rift S, what do you mean, the Rift S? Well, I think that
it's gonna go a couple lower, 2 millimeters.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember for sure if it does. Yeah. I think they just actually announced the actual IPD range. But it'll be interesting to see. I might buy that headset and not be able to use it. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people have used it and with different IPDs and say it's not an issue, but I mean everybody's different. I don't know. So it's gonna be. I mean the good thing is with something like that compared to like a Pimax or something is I can go down to Best buy that headset. If it doesn't work, I'll take it back. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work for me, I'll just return it. Which is something from Pimax from China is a lot harder to do. To order that headset from China, wait for the shipping. You have an issue, you have to ship it back to China. I mean that's the only reason I haven't bought one yet. I would love to try one out and stuff, but it's just, and I don't have the lighthouses either. Right. So for us that have the Rift, with no Vive, we don't have those. We don't have controllers, we don't have lighthouses. So that's another thing. Hopefully with that Valve Index, they'll sell a package, which I think they are, that comes with the Knuckles controllers and some lighthouses, and at hopefully a reasonable price. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the thing too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just depends on what all they're putting in it. I mean, right now, the market's open for high end, but I don't think it's going to be just from all the specs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can price it reasonably enough because they're going to make so much money off the software. I mean, their money is made off Steam. So if they can price it and they're not trying to make a ton of money on it, like HTC, I feel like, their company as a whole isn't doing real well financially. So they kind of have to price their stuff to make profit. You know what I mean? They don't have, I mean, I guess they have their software stuff now that you can buy the games through them, but I don't think that's a real big market. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not nothing like Steam or Oculus. So
not at all.
Yeah. So DJ Gello Official was asking about the price of the Valve Index. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping they try to be competitive because I mean they're obviously taking blows at Oculus, and their Oculus Rift S is going to be $400. So if they can make something that's a little bit higher end at $500-$600, that's a pretty good competitor. You're going to steal. I mean, I think the way they're doing it, I think they're going to steal some of Oculus market share because of the hardcore gamers. If it is, decent specs on that thing, they're going to switch to that from Oculus. So,
and then right now too, anybody who has stuff already will buy something that's a little bit higher level.
Right.
And then also people, coming in can still, maybe go one way or the other too. So
right.
They could capitalize on all of it just a little more,
Yeah, as long as they don't go crazy. I mean, if it's like $1,000, $1,500, I mean, that's gonna be tough. Not that many people's gonna buy. I mean, I don't think I would for that price. I mean, unless it was ridiculous, But and the other thing is you got the Quest at $400. So if this is somebody's first headset, getting a Quest at $400, and they love VR. Are they going to go to the next step? But are they going to go to the next step to a Rift S or to a Valve Index? You know what I mean? Probably not a Rift S. Yeah, because the Rift S resolution is actually lower than the Quest. But you got two different screens. You got an LCD screen compared to an OLED. But so it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts in the chat? Like, what headset are you guys planning on getting? Are you guys planning on upgrading or keeping?
Right. Everyone's got to have an idea already now what they want to do if they don't do anything. I mean, really, the Rift S isn't even like a huge upgrade. You know, a lot of people that tried it said, you know, if you've already got it, I don't know. You know, it's.
Yeah, you talking with Rift S?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to upgrade,
I know.
You know, to it from a Rift or a Vive. You know.
Yeah. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because I mean you're gonna be missing the headphones, no manual IPD, and I mean you do get a little bit of a resolution bump. But people that have tried it really like the resolution in it compared to the Rift. I mean a lot less screen door effects, you know, with the LCD panel. Yeah, so I mean I think it'll be a little bit better, but and you know a lot of people are concerned about the tracking, which I don't know if I'm as concerned with the tracking just because people that have tried it have said it works really well and. I just don't like all the sensors. Like, I mean, you can see back here, I got wires running. You know, I got a sensor mounted on the ceiling. So if they can perfect that inside-out tracking, I would prefer to not have to have sensors mounted everywhere. You know, if you want to move your setup, it's a real quick process to set it back up. So that, for me, you know, I'm looking forward to it if it works really well. You know what I mean? And we play
the Guardian system. They just dropped a bunch of stuff on how that sets up and how you can actually add space. So you literally just trace where you want it, and then if say I move a chair or you know something, you just actually redraw around that and add the space to it or take it away.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to redo the whole thing. So they're making that really simple and easy.
Did you see how do you see how the Guardian works too? Like in Rift now, you know, when you get too close to your Guardian, you just get like that blue mesh screen that pops up. And supposedly, I believe with the Rift S with that tracking, when you get too close to your boundary, it actually the pass-through camera pops up. So if you're about to run into a chair, it has a little window that pops up and shows you that chair, which that's really cool, you know. So I mean that'll be nice. So if you're about to
as long as it doesn't take away from immersion though, because I actually like the digital.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually lose track of what you're doing. I mean, think if you're aiming down the sights of something. And then there's a chair in front of you. You know what I mean? And
you can't see where the person is. You're just shooting at a chair.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Flying, shooting right at a chair. Like that just takes me out of VR, and I don't like that.
That's a good point.
But, I mean, I know there's going to be a little bit of opacity, like you can see through it and stuff. But I'm sure. But to me, I don't want to leave VR. I like the boundaries actually.
Yep.
But
this is where we need houses with just a big empty room. And like, you know, right now, like before, if you had a house with just this really big empty room, it's like, what's wrong with these people? They just got this big house with this big room and it's empty. You know what I mean? Now it's going to be cool. Like, oh man, this dude's got this huge room and it's all empty. Like, that's so cool. You know what I mean? So that's what we need now. So, but
I know, sadly, yeah. I wonder how big you can actually go with all the new, you know, pass through and sensors to set up for Guardian. Like, could you do a 20 by 20 room?
Yeah, they released that how big you can do, and I can't remember what it is. Like I know it's not. I don't think it's like a full basketball court or something like that, but it's pretty big. Like I mean, it's way bigger than you know.
I mean, the only place where I think that would be amazing if you had like, you know, like let's call it like a paintball size course. You could run the quest, multiple quests in something huge.
Well, that's what they did at what was that, CES or something like that? They ran that. I mean, that would be really cool. We've never experienced anything like that. You know, where because all those boxes and stuff, the obstacles were digitally redone inside the headset. So you saw that as like, I mean, you're shooting behind a box, but you're behind like an old barrel or something. You know what I mean? That's really cool.
Yeah, Gaming is Still Life just said about the Windows MR, like adding
I saw that
stuff to it. You know, that's my one biggest thing. I really wish the Rift S would accept the trackers from the Rift. It all runs off the same software. I know they can.
Yeah, they talked about it.
For added tracking. I mean, one camera in a room could make a world of difference, you know, on things. So,
and they said they haven't ruled it out. So I think if it comes out and enough people want that, I think they might do it. I mean, it's not hard to do, and they could still sell the cameras. I mean, I'm sure they can still make those and they can still sell them. They don't have to discontinue those like they are the CV1. No. But he was also saying about how, you know, if Windows Mixed Reality would come out with trackers and controllers for their existing setup, I mean, that would be epic. Because you take the HP Reverb, you know what I mean? I was just watching a tested video where they were checking that out, and then they said the screens are ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like one of the best things they've seen so far in VR. So, but I mean, I think it's all Windows based is the problem. Like, I don't think Windows will let them change the tracking because that's all done in house by Microsoft as compared to HP or Samsung and all that. So I think it will. I think hopefully if they don't abandon the VR market, which I don't know why they would, because they are selling. You know what I mean? They just.
Yeah.
I think on the hopefully the true next generation, if they come out with some really good controllers and some really good, external sensors or something, I mean, the HP Reverb would be like, that would be.
Well, my dream, as I said, I'd love to get it and then run my touch controllers with it, because I've heard essentially you can, as long as you have your Oculus headset plugged in, the sensors will still work 100%. Except now, you need more ports because now you're running a WMR headset. You're running an Oculus headset, all the touch sensors. So it would be a lot, but that would be my dream setup. Would probably be a reverb for a headset and controllers, Oculus Touch for all their tracking.
I haven't heard that before, other than from you. I have heard that from you, and I hope that's true. Hopefully, I know Gaming in Still Life. He runs an Odyssey Plus. I don't think he has a Rift anymore though. I think he used to. So I was gonna say if he still had his Rift, maybe we could get him to try that out and see if that actually works, because that would be pretty.
I've heard of one guy doing it with a Windows MR headset. And says that they still track.
So this is in Steam, right?
Yeah. You're still running Oculus.
Right. You're just running that.
Have to be in Steam because Steam recognizes whatever you have connected to it.
Yeah, I just don't know how. It would just be weird because I feel like it would still be trying to render to the Oculus headset and track that, and
it would.
See, I don't know. It'd be so weird. I mean, if it was possible, that would be awesome.
We have the graphics cards that probably could handle it. Now, my only thought is if you could just unplug the HDMI from the Oculus Rift, then it wouldn't be trying to render visual.
And I guess if you weren't, wearing the headset, it shouldn't have the screens on either. So I don't know. I mean, if it's possible, somebody needs to try that, because that would be pretty awesome.
I'd like to get it just to try it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Those visuals. Oh.
Yeah, for real. I know. I hear they're pretty awesome.
I wonder if you could do that even with like the Pimax too. I mean, because the Pimax, runs Steam and runs their, sensor. So maybe that would work with that as well. I don't know.
What are you talking about? Running a Windows mixed reality with?
No, running a Pimax headset with touch controllers.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That way. I know.
I don't know, but I mean, you figure if with Pimax though, once the Knuckles comes out, the controllers, I think that'll be because you could use those controllers, and Pimax has a version of those, I think, that they're kind of like Knuckles controllers. I don't think they're out yet, but.
Right.
So, somebody was asking about a Rift S, hoping they make a wireless peripheral for that, and hopefully they will. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but hopefully. Especially if they're running at 80 hertz, I would think that would be a little bit easier to push wireless.
Right.
I would think.
It's going that way.
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
NVIDIA's pushing it hardcore, so.
Yeah.
If NVIDIA's pushing it, they're going to jump on board. That's the way it's going. So.
Yeah, eventually we're all going to be playing games off the cloud or some kind of, monster computer somewhere else. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it will too. And that's already starting.
Right.
It really is. Given it's hard because now you're pushing, a lot of information through VR, but.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Still, really, most of it's rendering side, so.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that horrible.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get it figured out eventually. VR is still relatively new, and there's still so much they're trying to figure out. So
yeah, it's just a lot they're working on too. I get it.
Yeah,
it's money. There's not a lot of people investing in it. Though there are good signs with the PSVR and stuff and how many they've sold.
Right.
It's a really good indication of where it can go, and that has been my whole thing. I still wish like Oculus would have combined with Microsoft. Or vice versa.
I thought they were back in the day.
And I swore it could have happened.
Yeah.
I swore it was close. But just the headsets could be used with an Xbox. And now maybe they could because all there is one USB and one HDMI cable. But just uses a monitor essentially. If PlayStation's doing it, why can't Xbox?
Yeah, I think maybe Xbox will on their next generation do something. They're going to have to do some kind of VR because they can't let Sony take over. VR is definitely the future, if you ask me. That's where gaming is going eventually. It's going to obviously take a while to get there, but I think that if Xbox doesn't do something, and what doesn't make sense to me is why didn't they just use the Windows mixed reality headsets? I'm sure on the Xbox Pro or whatever, they could have done that like Sony did, and that made no sense to me because you needed no external sensors or anything like you were saying. You don't need all the USBs. I don't know why.
It's just a headset.
It's owned by Windows. It's the same company. I mean, by Microsoft. It's the same company. Like, so that's what they should have done. If they would have done that, I mean, that would have been awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna grab some more coffee.
All right, I might need to too. So, Gaming and Still Life said Microsoft already has VR. So, like I was saying, I don't know why they didn't enable that on the Xbox. So in that last generation, you know, they could have helped take some of that share away from Sony that Sony has now over them. That's, you know, I just don't get why they didn't do that. And maybe they will on the next Xbox. But I think at one of the E3s or whatever, Microsoft talked about how they didn't want to do VR until it was wireless. So, you know, if we get the next generation Xbox and they give us a wireless headset, I mean, it's going to be pretty epic. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with Great Tantrum too. They don't want to fragment the Xbox brand by making VR only available on the small One X base, which is true. I mean, there's not that many people that have the One X or whatever I think that's their brand of the Pro. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what we get out of Microsoft and Xbox in the next generation. Maybe at E3 this year we're going to find some news about that. I also think it's interesting that Oculus is going to E3 this year, because I don't think they've been at E3 the past, 2 years, maybe 1 or 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to E3. You know, are they just going to bring a bunch of Rift S's and Quests that we've seen, you know, at all the last, you know, GDC and PAX and everything? I'm guessing that's what they're going to do, because I don't think they're going to. I'm hoping that they'll talk about, give us more Half Dome information, more CV2 information at their show in the fall, whatever that's called. I can't remember. What's the?
How amazing that was.
That's all I was talking about. Yeah. What's the Oculus show at the end of the year? What's that called?
Connect?
Yeah, Connect. That's what I was looking for. I was saying that I was hoping that they'll give us some more information about Half Dome or something. Maybe give us, because now that Valve is showing something better than their Rift S, you know, I mean, I'm hoping they give us at least some more information about the future of their PC VR market. I know a lot of people are saying like Oculus is getting away from the PC VR market, but they've constantly said that's not true. So hopefully that's not true. You know, hopefully we get a true Gen 2. You know,
I hope. I know. I think the physical, the focal point with the physical adjustment, I think that's the way to go. I mean, ultimately, I get there's a lot of stuff wrong in that.
Yeah.
But, man.
You talking about the mechanical IPD?
Yeah, but I mean, no, not IPD. The focal rendering. For where you're looking.
Oh, foveated rendering. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's where it has to go. That's where it has to go, because you just can't support, you know, super high wide field of view and super high resolution with our GPUs. I mean, we're running 2080s, and even with the Pimax at full, you know, full field of view and everything, I mean, I'm sure it would still struggle. So it's gonna have to go there. I think they're just perfecting it. And Oculus has been working on eye tracking, so that was something they've been working on. So if they can finally perfect that, you know, that's where.
Didn't they say it takes something like 30% less processing power when they have?
Yeah, it's something crazy. Yeah, because you're only rendering the full image right where you're looking, you know, and everything else, just like we see in real life. I mean, when I'm looking dead ahead, the stuff around me is not super clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if I hold my coffee cup up and focus on my coffee cup, everything around it's blue.
Yeah.
You don't really notice it unless you're looking for it, but.
And I would have to imagine that would even add to immersion, you know what I mean? Because it would just would have to feel more natural, I would think.
The only thing is like any latency in it, just like with the headsets now, but like any latency in rendering and changing would ruin it. And that could be where they're running into trouble.
I'm sure that's where the difficulty is, because I mean your eyes move so fast and you can change where you're looking so quickly that it's got to be hard for that to keep up with it. You know, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm sure eventually we'll get there.
I don't know how they could. I mean, they act like it's possible, but I don't even know how that's. That's rough. That's really rough.
So Gaming and Still Life is saying the max he'll pay for a Valve Index is $1,000. He's asking what the max you would pay, and I don't know. I don't know. I have to know more info about it. I think I need more details.
For the Index, I mean, if Index was such a game changer, like the Rift was when it came out,
right?
I mean, the Rift essentially cost us what was it, $900, and I had no problem going out and getting that.
Yeah.
And that's including like touch. I think it was what, 700.
It was like 600 or 700 for the headset, 200 for the controllers, and then we got a third sensor. Yeah.
Right. So we were around $1,000. I'd be all in at $1,000 if it was high end.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm debating, Pimax and stuff. So I mean,
right.
I would spend that if it was, from a big company that I knew was around, had a stop with, wasn't going anywhere soon, stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely would. That's the scary thing about the Pimax, though, is the quality of the build and stuff like that.
I don't think they're quite there yet on me wanting to spend that much money on something. I mean, it'll be different once we can buy it at Best Buy. Like, if we can buy it at Best Buy, get a warranty on it, if you have any issues. You got a really creepy black cat that just came into your room, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
But, so I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely interested to get more specs on it and see. I mean, I think it's going to be a contender. And people are excited about it. I mean, it's Valve, so, I mean, people are for sure going to be excited. I mean, it's huge.
Do some really cool things.
Oh, for sure.
They know what they're doing, for sure. I mean, the very software side, that's where they started. So
yeah, have you heard about what Gaming and Still Life's talking about, the dual lenses? Like, I forget what they patented. They patented something where it's like a 2-layer lens, and that people are thinking that's probably going to be in the Valve Index, and so that will be interesting. I mean, like I said, more info. I just want info, and it's hard to wait until May 1st. I mean, it's really hard. So
yeah, I feel like that could be and then I'm sure they're locked together, but with the dual lens, I don't know if that would change. That'd be tough because with like your adjustments and stuff. I forget how. Would change a little bit,
I can't remember how it worked and what all it was supposed to help. We'd have to find the article on that and see what the details were. But
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it was supposed to be a pretty big improvement, but I don't know.
The other thing I like too is like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Index has headphones attached. Yeah, I know it does.
Yeah, it does. And it was supposedly they have some kind of technology in those headphones that help with motion sickness. That's what people are thinking are going to be in there. And because if you look at them, they're kind of weird on the outside of the headphone. They look a little funky compared to a regular headphone. Yeah, they just have you'd have to look at it. It's not like a regular headphone, but supposedly they have some kind of technology that will help with motion sickness. And if that's the case, I mean, I don't get motion sickness at all anymore. I'm sure a lot of us that play VR all the time don't have any issues, but it is something that's important, I guess, for new people. Because I mean, I remember the first time when we first started playing, I remember Minecraft. You remember Minecraft when we went into Minecraft and it had free locomotion? Like, you were feeling pretty rough there for a while, but that was right at first.
Yeah. I mean, so that was good. I played tons of VR stuff before that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, something in that game did it to me.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't had any issues in a long time, But it is something they have to address somehow. So.
Oh, it is for sure. Here's the headset.
Yeah. So see the headphones? Do you see the? Like, it's definitely a little different. There's something going on with those headphones that aren't normal. I feel.
Yeah, I don't know unless they're just.
Unless they just sound that good. Yeah, I mean I mean it could
be
a lot of bass and stuff. I don't know.
The other thing is on this headset, it's kind of. I don't know. It's hard to see, and I can't really. I could zoom in on it a little bit, but it does look like it has like infrared sensor, kind of in the headset.
Yeah, supposedly it's still going to work with lighthouses. A lot of people are speculating the cameras are actually for pass through and not for any tracking stuff. I guess. Yeah, I can't imagine they're only going to run 2 cameras for a full tracking. You know what I mean? Especially with Valve having like the best tracking system out there with the lighthouses, I'm sure they're gonna stick with that, which is fine because, I mean, I like my 3 sensor setup with the Oculus, but you still have to have all the USB ports, run all the cords. You know what I mean? With the lighthouses, you just plug them into an outlet, so that would simplify, the setup. So I'm okay with that. I mean, I want good tracking. So
outside tracking, truthfully.
Yeah.
I really do. Minus, if they get moved, coming in clean, one gets bumped.
Yeah.
I don't really have issues with that, but I hear people do.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do have to go in and reset it up after moving some stuff, just because I notice a little bit of stuff being a little bit weird. But so Great Tantrum said force feedback audio, maybe like a possibility with those headphones, which is true. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, maybe some more bass or something in there even would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, a little more feel to it.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about what those headphones that you ordered for to possibly test out on the Rift S?
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to show? Yeah. So we have been toying with the idea of adding headphones to it. So I ordered a set, which I don't have, the PSVR. So I ordered a set of the clip-on headphones for the PSVR. Um, and anybody on here, they really do sound good. They're actually really pretty good headphones. They're pretty comparable to the Rift. I haven't had long-term playing. I wasn't playing any FPS and shooters with bass in it or anything like that. But they sound really good.
How's the bass on those? I know from some of the reviews, they say it's not as good as the Rift, but
it's not as good.
Yeah.
But compared to the Go, I literally plug these into the Go and would unplug them and plug them back in while I was playing something. Night and day different.
Really?
So if they are using the same, headphone or speakers in the Rift S as they are in the Go, I mean, you have to have something like this.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, without a doubt, everybody should buy them. I mean, if that's the case. The only thing we don't know yet is if they'll clip on. So it's kind of hard to see. But right in here is the cutout. So they actually do expand and open up.
Okay. Yeah.
Clamp on. The thickness of it for the strap is going to be the only thing that determines it. So I did actually get them on this, but it's almost a little too thick. So if that strap is thin enough on the Rift S, it's 100% it'll work. And I'd say it would be because it's that adjustable strap. So it's just going to be using like that, so it slides in and out. So it should be pretty thin. If not, this could easily just be modified, cut out a little bit with a Dremel.
Right. I think it probably will fit for the simple fact that it's they partnered with Lenovo, and Lenovo actually bought the rights to use the Sony design. So I think it's going to be really similar to the PSVR setup. So I'm hoping it will just fit. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll have to find out. But I mean, for me, like I don't want to put headphones on after I put the headset on. I've gotten so used to I grab my headset, I slap it on my face, I'm good to go. I don't want to put the headset on, fumble around with some headphones, and what I mean, like I don't want that. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of third-party stuff coming out for it, like headphones and stuff that are built for it. But I don't think there's going to be anything right away. So I think that's going to be a great solution for right off the bat. But
now here's my other thing. I did just get, and it wouldn't be a bad idea, is the Galaxy Buds. They're not bad. They sound really good. They do have some bass to them. And they're Bluetooth, so I've connected them to the computer and stuff. I haven't tried them, but I may try them. I could even today with just the Rift now.
Yeah, you should do that. See if there's any latency at all. That's what I'm curious about. If there would be any kind of, because you don't want any delay. I mean, so as long as you can do some Bluetooth, and other people probably have done Bluetooth headphones in VR and probably know how it works. But yeah,
right.
So that would definitely.
I don't think there is, only because when I've used them with my phone so far. The second you hit pause on any song, it's immediate. There isn't a delay like some headphones can be.
See, the only reason I worry is because, like, in my car, like Bluetooth in my car, like there is a delay. Like if I'm playing a video from my phone, there is a delay. But I don't really have any Bluetooth headphones, so I don't know how to compare. But Gaming and Still Life's talking about the VR cover will be more expensive for the Rift S, and I think he's probably right because it's going to be, I think the interface is more like the Go, isn't it? Where it's like a whole big thing, where the Rift is just, the outline that goes in your face. So I do think it's going to be more expensive, but I think it's going to be worth it. I mean, I hear that it's really comfortable and stuff, but it still uses the foam in the Rift S, where I like that leather. You know what I mean? Like, I just like, it just feels better on my face. I don't know. I mean, I know most people think that, so.
And when we're playing hard, I mean, we're sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I don't really want that foam. I'd rather have something slick that can be wiped off.
It's easier to clean and,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had these headsets, it has been 3 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, just about 3 years.
I mean, we've had the VR cover on them since they came out with VR cover, basically.
Yeah.
And they've held up. I mean, my headset still even looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
All of it.
The only thing on mine that doesn't look as good anymore is because they use the fabric, so you get, like, when you're putting your fingers on and stuff all the time, like it kind of discolors the black fabric a little bit, which is kind of weird, but so.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But you're saying we need more covers, but it would be. I mean, it's anything more is good because we have more options.
Yeah.
Drives prices down. I mean, just like the headsets, like everything else, it all helps.
Yeah, really. And I mean, it's still so new too. There's not a lot of big name companies that want to come out with peripherals for VR when there's not that big of a market yet.
Invest in R&D.
right,
and just develop something for it until there's a market, which is anything.
And I mean, they're like, I'm sure VR covers probably a pretty small company, you know, ProTube and all of those. They're small companies, but
absolutely,
you know, they're getting in early and they're making a name for themselves. So
yeah,
I mean,
and that's all of it.
Once this blows up, I mean, they're in a good position. So
anybody that's played an FPS in VR has heard of ProTube.
Oh yeah,
that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
you know, or VR covers. You have a headset.
Yeah.
So it's those names are staples quick.
Yeah. It's good to be in early. Yeah, it's good to get in early.
Absolutely. Well, that's a big benefit too, like Pavlov, why they've sold so many copies.
Yeah.
They were in early, low price point.
Yeah.
I mean, a big base, which only comes in the game.
The marketplace too, or whatever it is, the workshop. The workshop is really big for them. That helps a lot. Yeah. But I mean, you almost get to a point where you have too many maps and too many options, though. Like,
you do. Yeah. And it's not as refined, so you have ones that are good, and then that drives people away too because of the quality.
Yeah.
I still think there should be, and I like what contractors did too, by using somebody that made it outside of it. So that kind of opens the doors a little bit to more maps.
Yeah.
But I think it should be approved maybe by, you know, the designer.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that for them approving it. Yep. But and talking about contractors a little bit, hopefully we get some more maps and stuff from them soon, because I know a lot of you guys probably play it too, and we love contractors, but you know, it's been not a lot of people on. I mean, you get on there and it's hard to find lobbies. You know, like a lot of times me and Tyler will go in and we'll start a matchmaking thing where it just puts us two together and starts a new lobby, and we'll wait in there a decent amount of times, a lot of time, before we really get anybody else to join in with us. Until we get a full lobby, it takes a little while, and there's not a lot of room. So, I mean, they got to do something. They got a lot of stiff competition with Onward and Pavlov that have a much bigger player base than they do, and they've been out for a lot longer. But
yeah, and Pavlov's still working. You know, they're pushing hard, and they're trying to push out their battle royale.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna help them or hurt them. I mean, it may just spread their player base out more. I'm sure it'll help. It'll give you more options.
Yeah. I mean, I like Battle Royale. I like Standout. I mean, I was looking at Steam the other day, and I think I have more time in Standout than almost any other game. And we used to play that all the time. Yeah. I mean, we played a ton of Standout, and that's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But soon we're going to have Population 1, and that is going to be a game changer,
I think. Have you been into that lately? Have you seen much where it's at right now?
I haven't been in lately, so I don't think we're really allowed to talk about that because there's a embargo on it. But
right.
But I think the progress has slowed. They at least, like, I'm on their Discord and stuff, and they haven't been very active on there. So I'm guessing they're just probably working real hard to get it finished to push out soon. Because I mean, I don't remember what the release date was said, if it was spring or summer or what it was, but
yeah, I don't remember now either. But that changes. Every game changes.
Yeah, and it always gets pushed back. But I mean, they were already close before. You know what I mean? So they have to be really close now. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I think it'll be a contender for sure. I think it's going to take some player base away from a lot of the other games, and a lot of people are going to be playing it.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's going to be legit. It's going to be legit.
Yeah, so, for sure.
And I guess go ahead.
It's crazy though that they haven't like pushed much out on it, because of where it's at now is really. I mean, it looks really good. It seems to play good. I mean, I'm just surprised they haven't tried to build the hype a little bit on it. Like, you hear people talk about it.
Yeah, there was some hype before, but it's definitely slowed down. Like, you don't really hear people talk about it much now, and it's going to be a good game.
Steve said it needs gun stock calibration.
For sure. Every game. Yeah. Anybody that uses a gun stock, I think, would agree with that statement for sure. I mean, it's a game changer. I don't know why. Like, I know Onward is coming out with an update. They put something out on Reddit the other day, and I was talking on there, and I told him, I said, you guys need to do a gun stock calibration. Like, I don't know why all of them haven't done that yet. So, but I guess there is a pretty decent update coming out for Onward. We do need to go back into that because it's been a while.
I know, we haven't played Onward in a while.
Yeah,
I agree. It's just a little too slow paced. Like, I really like it. It plays well. I just, if I'm in VR, I'm gonna get my time's worth. I think that's where we go to like Pavlov. You can just one game after another,
Yeah, I do like the realism. I do like the realism where you're dead, but
sure.
But I mean, for me, contractors just just like that comment, the gun stock calibration for me is a big one. I love that. I love that I can have every gun set up and I'm just, pull it up and boom, on target. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So hopefully, they all have to eventually go that way anyways, I would think. I just don't know why they haven't yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
I saw somebody with PUBG did like an online, they kind of recreated PUBG and did it like a race, but a battle to the death race kind of in PUBG, kind of as a spoof on it. But man, it made me think that'd be an awesome like battle royale game. Would be like a kind of like an old school Twisted Metal or something.
Yeah.
Like where you had cars with like weapons and guns and stuff, and did like a battle royale to the end.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Like a Mad Max kind of race.
Yeah, for sure. I know on the Discord for what was that game? War Dust. Their latest announcement, which was from February 20th, was basically that they're basically doing an overhaul to the whole thing, and they want to make it run better and a lot more vehicles, and they basically want to rework the whole thing. So I don't know how far they are along in that, because
they did that whole thing where they were like, okay, we pulled on team number doing all this big stuff, but then it all fell flat. So
well, hopefully they're still working on it, because that was their last update, their last announcement from February 20th.
Is it?
So and
I'm sure.
What do you think about first-person shooters on the Quest? Who do you think is going to be the first one?
About what?
A first-person shooter on the Quest. Who's going to be the first one to do it? Because people love VR for shooter games. That's a big market,
Who's going to do it? Well, I guess it depends on what you consider a shooter, because
right, yeah.
Like Buried's going to be on there. That's considered
that's true.
So they already have that, and that's not true, I guess.
So Pavlov, Onward, Contractors, War Dust. What about Firewall 0 Hour? I know they had a video where they were doing a live stream playing that on PC VR, and somebody supposedly walked into the room with a Quest on or something, and people were thinking that they're hinting at maybe doing a port for the Quest, which that would be epic. Yeah, that's true. If they can run on the PSVR, it'd be a little bit easier, I would think. But that game looks really good. Like when that came out, I was super jealous. I was like, man, I almost want to buy a PSVR just for that game. Like that game looks really good. But then we got Contractor shortly after, so that.
What about Zero Caliber?
Where's the PvP? Where's the PvP? It just doesn't make
sense.
It was
an amazing game. Came out. Gun attachments were really good. Controls were really good. Fell flat. It's single player only.
They're still doing updates. They're still pushing updates. They just haven't done the PvP yet, which I mentioned that. Yeah, I mentioned something to them about that, and they said it's coming. And they've been saying that for a long time. But I feel like they should have waited to put that game out until they were at least closer to PvP, because that game could have taken over. You know what I mean? Like if they release a PvP, because right now all they have is, they have like a campaign mode and a co-op campaign, but you're basically just shooting bots. It's no different than going into Contractors or Onward and shooting bots. It's not the same,
No, it's not. It's too bad too. It does look good, sounds good, all of it. I really feel for that game too. But
yeah. So Gaming and Still Life mentioned Space Junkies, and did you go into that beta of that? Did you play?
I didn't.
Okay.
No, I never got
I did go into the beta.
Flying shooting thing.
Really. Yeah, it is. It's a little weird, but the beta, I did really like the beta. Like the graphics were really good and stuff, but it wasn't I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot to bring me back, but that was just the beta. I'm curious from Gaming and Still Life if the actual game is a lot different from the beta. Like if there's a lot more modes and a lot more to it, because it was just the beta was a pretty small map. You know what I mean? So it was just a small map, and it wasn't. There just wasn't a whole lot to it. I don't know.
They did that though too. They released it, and it was kind of small too.
Yeah.
Originally, the beta.
Yeah, and people love that. People love Echo Arena. We never really got into that either. We played it a little bit, and we haven't went back in since they have the shooter of Echo Arena or whatever, Echo Combat. We haven't went back in, but.
Right. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not too cracked up on it. It's all right.
Yeah. So Gaming and Still Life says new modes this month for free. So, but I think that's I'm guessing in Space Junkies.
Space
Junkies?
Yeah, that's cool. Huh.
New guns also, so that's cool. But I think that's like a $39 game or something like that, or a $30 game. So it's not cheap. It's kind of expensive.
Right. But the one I thought was crazy, which I couldn't believe, we went in, a buddy of ours got in VR and new stuff too, was Rec Room and their Battle Royale. That was pretty funny. It's still Rec Room. Don't get me wrong.
A lot of little kids.
Yeah, a lot of little kids, a lot of lagging and teleporting and stuff. But for a free game,
I mean, there's so much to Rec Room now, and that's all free. I mean, it's a pretty massive game. I'm glad to see they keep doing stuff. I mean, we spent a lot of time doing the quests when those first came out.
Yeah.
Doing the quests, and that was fun. And that was before they had free locomotion. That was all teleport, you know what I mean? But it was fun. We had a good time, and it was hard. I mean, it was hard to make it to the end of those quests. It wasn't easy. I mean, we spent a lot of time. So, yeah, it's
good.
I was just gonna say they were saying it is $40, so I think $39 for Space Junkies.
That's crazy.
But Gaming and Still Life says he plays every night, so.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it that much, man? Yeah.
And he liked Contractors too. I know he was playing some Contractors. He got a Pro Tube and stuff as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, we should try it.
Yeah, we need to go in.
Oh yeah.
So.
But I'm trying to get you to get X-Plane though. You still won't get that.
I need to do that. Yeah. I have no idea. Tyler's going to teach me how to fly these planes in X-Plane. So he's messed around with it a little bit and learned how to fly some planes. So. But I guess now you were telling me we can get in there together, right? So we can get in the same cockpit now?
Yeah, it's not native to the game.
Okay.
Because you can run that game over LAN. So essentially there's a software you run that runs your LAN connection for you. But it works. I mean, everything, all the controls, toggles. You don't see each other. That's the only downfall. But everything, all the switches, everything else works. The sticks, so you can actually co-pilot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to teach me how to fly.
Yeah,
because it looks complicated. Like I've looked into it, I'm like, I'm not gonna have the patience to try to figure this out.
It took me a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start in this Cessna.
Yeah.
We'll go to a 737.
Yeah, there you go. So I might be able to do that. So.
Yeah, I like the iteration of VR in games. VR, like the Forest.
Oh yeah. Forest is fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
I love that game. And now you can join multiple people and stuff online.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
The Forest is a lot of fun. Yeah. It's creepy though. I mean, it's creepy going down in them caves and stuff and just some weird stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's really weird. Really weird, but it's fun. But so what do you think about these new games coming out? Like what about Stormlands and Defector and Asgard's Wrath? So that is the one good thing about Oculus is that the money they put into some of these games. I mean, that I am really looking forward to Stormlands, and everybody says it's gorgeous. So
yeah, Stormlands. I'm really excited, and I've been for a long time.
Yeah, the thing that I'm most excited about Stormlands is its co-op. Like that. I mean, for me, VR, everything needs co-op. Every game needs co-op. Like I just enjoy it so much more being able to go through it with somebody. You know what I mean? Like to me, that adds to the immersion and everything else. Like it's just so that's gonna be so good. Yeah, Steve XM said Stormland is what he's waiting for, which I agree. I mean, that's gonna be it.
The big AAA ones I could play single player because there's so much content, so much visual. Fallout 4. Right. That's great. You know, I don't play a lot of single player. Unless it's good, you know, then it sticks me, and you know, I can definitely see.
But would it be better in co-op?
100 times.
Yeah, see, I mean, I still prefer it. I mean, you still have to have the single player games because a lot of people don't like co-op and don't like multiplayer, so you still need to have that option. But the option of co-op is always good, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, the game's already there. Eventually, it's just
Yeah, and I'm hoping we get something at F8 this year. Like they gotta at least release one of these big games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, I'm guessing they're releasing the Rift S at F8. I mean, that would make sense now. They're gonna release the Rift S and the Quest, which I didn't think they were gonna release them together, but at this point, I'm sure that's probably what they're gonna do. So I mean, they're gonna have to release at least one of those big games with the Rift S. I mean, I'm almost sure that will happen.
I figured they're just waiting. They're just holding Stormland out for that. That's what I
figured. Because that's going to be a big seller. I mean, people are gonna buy it for that. So.
Yeah, and it won't be an exclusive probably, but
what do you mean?
They can't make it exclusive.
Not to the Rift S. Yeah, it'll still work with CV1 for sure.
It'll have to be.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They'd be done with them too anyway.
Yeah, and Gaming is Still Life saying he hopes they all work with Revive, which I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why they would. Yeah, I don't see why they would block them out or anything. That would be kind of people would be up in arms for sure if they block out Revive at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, he said.
That would be.
What's that? They're coming. They just announced one of those MMOs for the Quest. I can't remember what it is. It was like their latest. It was like their latest announcement thing.
Yeah.
But it was one I've never played before.
I forget. There is some big company that just said they're working on some game in VR. Somebody big.
So is it Orbis? Is that an MMO? I think because Orbis VR got announced for the Quest, and I think that might be an MMO. But I'm not sure.
Wait, is that the one that?
What's that one? You thinking about the GTA one? The one that's like GTA style?
Yeah, the one that was in Kickstarter and stuff and failed. In
the latest one in Kickstarter that you sent me?
No, well, it failed though.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
My Discords. Oh no, that was Elysium. That was.
Yeah, that's still going. I think they're still trying to get that out there.
I know they keep plugging at it,
yeah.
But I don't know if it's gonna work out. It does sound cool, but I mean,
right?
I don't think it's gonna fall in space probably.
Yeah. So how long?
World, that one would have been awesome.
How long have we been going now? Do you have any idea?
That's a good question. Yeah, I can tell you. Sure.
I mean, I feel like we could just talk forever, but.
Well, probably. Sadly, that's probably.
I don't know. I'm gonna get a refill of coffee. You figure out the time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of good games in the work. I forget there was one company that I just heard that was working on a VR game that was pretty much a AAA company. I forget who it was. I really wish I knew. But we really just need a bunch of AAA companies at least invest, partly at least in working on games. But War of the Gods, is a game Still Life said. I feel like I've heard of that. I can look it up real quick. But is that a non-VR game? Is that what it was? We have War of the Gods. I feel like I have heard of that. I feel like ports could be a really good, way of solving all the AAA issues with not having AAA games and everything. Is just by companies investing in just porting them over, because it has been proven. Given yes, you have to have a higher graphics card because they're optimized and everything. I see what works. Yeah, I haven't seen that actually. But it'd be an easy way for them to make some bucks and getting into the VR world. Company who did the company who did Spider-Man. Well, yeah, then they definitely. What is it? The Spider-Man that was the MMO Spider-Man? Because that really would be something amazing if they did that. I know that looked like that actually performed pretty well. Never really played it or anything. Did see a lot of. That would be freaking awesome. Yeah, whichever company. I don't know who did that actually.
What are you talking about? What I missed?
Yeah. The War of Gods is maybe the one that is that the one you were thinking of?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't remember what it was at this point.
My first VR experience is what Steve said. Oh man.
I know. I can remember one of them that we were completely blown away because me and Tyler both got ours the same day, and we got it figured out the same day we were playing together.
Oh, you're going? No, I'm going first VR experience.
Okay. You're talking Gear VR.
Well, yeah. I mean that's ultimately that's first. But yeah. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say AZ, aren't you?
What is it?
Arizona.
Oh no, that was a really good one. But I was thinking Toy Box. You remember that?
Yeah,
we literally sat there for like 3 hours throwing like a bouncy ball at each other, and like we were just cracking up laughing the whole time because it was just so ridiculous. And we remember the little shrink gun, like we would shoot each other with the shrink gun and you'd shrink down. Like it was the most ridiculous thing ever, but it was hilarious. We loved it. But
man, I'm trying to think of what mine was from like the Gear VR.
I have no idea.
Oh, man, there was some really cool stuff. Honestly, I think one of the first ones was like the bullet one, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That was one of the first.
Was it called Bullet Time or something? Was that what it was called? I feel like that sounds right.
No, man, I forget. I'm trying to look right now, but
yeah. So yeah, Steve XM said his first one was Robo Recall, which
Robo Recall is really good.
Man, that game is gorgeous though. Oh yeah, the teleporting sucks, but the visuals in that game, like I went into that game the other day messing around with some of the mods, And that game is still like one of the most gorgeous games I've seen in VR. I mean, just like
stuff jumping at you, so you get that depth.
It's just so clear. It's just so clear, and like I don't know. I don't know how they did it. Like I wish some more games could be on that level.
Yeah, the color contrast and everything.
Yeah, it's so good.
I know. Yeah, man. I wish I could remember my actually like first experience.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean,
I know. It must not have been that good if I don't
So, I know once after I tried your Gear VR and I bought one of those cheap plastic things to put my iPhone in.
Yeah.
So one of the best things that I could find on there was that Sisters app, which is like a scary. You're like in a little haunted house and like the little doll sits next to you. But it was fun like for how cheap and crappy that headset was. But like I remember I put my nephew in that and I don't know how old he was at the time, maybe like 10 or so. And he wanted to try it. And I was like, dude, it's gonna scare you. And he's like, oh no, I'll be all right. So that I forget what it was, but one of the parts in there were something like I think it was where the girl, like the statue thing, like reached into your face. He literally took the headset off, screamed, and threw it across the room. Like it freaked him out so bad. And luckily, it was just a cheap plastic headset. So.
Right.
But he's pretty leery about doing anything scary now. Like if I try to put him in anything, he's like, "It's not scary, right? It's not scary." I probably shouldn't talk about him like that because he might watch this and he'll be his feeling. But we won't mention we won't mention any names. And it was years ago. So
that's what it's all about, though.
Oh yeah.
Whether you're scared or not, I mean, you can't help it. There's times in the forest where, you hear something and like I'm looking around and I'm like,
oh yeah, I get scared too.
I get scared.
I mean, I remember Arizona Sunshine when we first started playing that, and you would, you just be seeing these zombies coming at you, and all of a sudden you just kind of look behind you, and there's one right in your face. I mean, I remember screaming like a girl a couple times when we first started playing. I mean, but I think I don't like the scary stuff. I don't like the horror in VR, but I think it is one of the most immersive things you can do in VR because you're just so scared that it's hard to remember that it's not real. You know what I mean? Like it really does trick you. And I know, like I used to watch a lot of Epic's 911 on YouTube, and I know he was going through a move, so hopefully he gets back on here. But he talked about Resident Evil on the PlayStation VR. And he talked about how that ruined horror movies and stuff for him. How he can't even watch a horror movie anymore because it does nothing to him. Like there's just no comparison. You know what I mean? So it really is. I mean, can you imagine like in the future though, like the haunted houses and stuff that we go to now, like if they would get into the VR stuff. I mean, they'll probably have a lot of broken headsets, so that would probably be a bad idea. Yeah. But I mean, it could be ridiculous.
They're on the chat. They're talking about the like Nintendo doing VR.
Oh yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome. I don't know if they really have the processing power. It seems like all their stuff's always under processed, but I mean, given their games don't render as high and stuff, that does help.
But what they're doing right now is they're using the Switch screen, and it's basically in like a Nintendo Labo thing or something that runs in like basically a cardboard. It's basically like a Google Cardboard. So I think it'll still be cool, but I want to see them really get into VR. Like I want to see Nintendo come out with a legit headset. I mean, can you imagine if they came out? Yeah.
Nintendo's all about portability.
Yeah, make a Quest. Make something like a Quest to get Mario Brothers and Zelda and all those old classics.
I would buy it if they called it the Virtual
Boy. Virtual Boy 2. Virtual Boy 2. Yeah.
Like that would be amazing.
Did you have one of those?
No, I wanted one so bad. I remember going to, I think it was like called KB Toys or something.
Yep, and they had one set up. I remember.
One set up. It was on a tripod.
Yep.
And you put your head up to it, it's stationary.
Yep.
And you could look in there, and I think was it even color?
No, it was all red. It was like all red. Yeah.
Black,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, this thing's amazing. Like I wanted it.
It was still cool. I've honestly thought about buying one now, just to have. You can buy them on eBay, but the prices are going up.
I bet. Yeah. It would be cool. It would be a cool desk piece. But
yeah.
Man, yeah, that would be awesome.
Nintendo Quest would be great. Yeah, I mean, they need to do it. They're gonna have to do it. Yeah. I mean, they would be such a huge seller because everybody loves Nintendo. I mean, everybody loves the classic Nintendo games.
Absolutely. I
mean, I want like some Excite Bike. I want some Excite Bike in VR. I don't know how they would do it, but it'd be fun.
In like an old school game, like
well, kind of like that Pixel Ripped.
Yeah.
Duck Hunt was cool. That Duck Season, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I mean, everybody's excited for Boneworks. I mean, I think that's going to be the next big thing too. That Boneworks game from them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they actually do put it's quality. I mean,
it looks
a huge
good.
game or anything, but it was quality.
You talking about Duck Season?
Yeah.
Because that's the guys that made that are the ones making Boneworks.
Yeah.
So it says they're $250 on eBay for a Virtual Boy.
Seriously?
Yeah, I wonder what.
They were new.
No, I don't think they were that much, were they?
Back then, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's crazy though. That's insane.
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what games do drop on it. I don't know.
On the Quest,
I think that's what's going to hold me from it is what games actually come out for the Quest.
Yeah. Well, the one good thing is the cross buy. So I think a lot of the games you won't have to rebuy. Like you should be able to get Super Hot for free and stuff like that. Right. I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably buy one just for the simple fact of.
I probably will try.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not going to be.
You still have your Go though, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, I sold mine. I sold my Go and figured I would just use that to buy a Quest. Because if you have the Quest, what do you need the Go for? I mean, the Quest should be able to do everything the Go does, but better. So, right. And I didn't really use my Go very much ever. Anyways, the only thing really that I thought the Go was cool for was watching movies. I mean, you could go into a theater and I mean, the games there wasn't anything that was like that kept me coming back. But
some really good games come out for it.
Though. Is there? Yeah, I haven't kept up on it lately, but
just like fun like puzzle type games, I really like. Like I love virtual reality. I really like that game. I mean, that was a thinker game, so I like those kinds of games.
I never got into that one either, but I'm kind of weird when it comes to certain games. It's just, I don't know. I'm a little different, but.
Now, the one puzzle game I'm super excited about, and I probably should underfunded it, was the one that, I'm trying to think of the company's name now, but the ones that make Myst and stuff, the VR one they're working on.
Mm-hmm. That was the one you sent me the Kickstarter for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks amazing. I'm super excited. Anything like Myst is just amazing to me, and then to be implemented right into VR is just even better.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I know they had, I forget what it was called. They did have one that kind of came out in VR, but it really optimized all that great. I feel like it got at peak, but I'm super excited for this one. And given it's going to be a ways out still, but
yeah,
I can't wait. I love puzzle games. Just keeps you involved, and their worlds are beautiful. So should be a good game.
Yeah, that should be good. I think they got like a $1.5 million fund, like a GoFundMe goal or something like that.
Yeah, something high.
I mean, if they're going that high, it better be epic, which I'm sure it will. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Let me look. I mean, it's probably already actually.
Yeah, I couldn't find the link that you sent me on that. I was gonna pull that up.
I'll find it.
So, Steve XM said he probably won't get a Quest. He said he'd rather spend the money on the S and a new video card.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. No one's gonna buy.
Oh, never mind. He said spend that $1 on a new video card. I thought it said S, so he said spend that $1 on a new video card.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't gonna buy both headsets. It is. It's gonna be a division.
Yeah, it will. But I mean, a video card is a big upgrade and a big expense. We were both running a 1063 gig card, and it worked. I mean, we played pretty much everything with that. But last Black Friday, we both upgraded to an RTX 2080. We got a good deal. Tyler you still have both PCs, right? Because we bought a whole new PC.
Yeah, I have one with a 1060 sitting here too.
Yeah, so which I sold mine. I sold my 1060 computer to my cousin, which actually got an Oculus Rift on Black Friday too, so he plays with us now.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So that's the new one, right?
This is that one that Misty's making. It's called Firmament.
Oh man, it looks so good though.
It should be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, just the visuals and stuff in it. I mean, will just be the worlds are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of color, lots of like water and textures, and I mean, if it's anything like what they've been demoing.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be a killer game.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
It won't probably be. They haven't talked about co-op even or anything, which would be cool because how awesome would it be to go?
I thought they did say something about co-op in that. I thought, but I'm not sure.
I don't think any of their games really have been co-op.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love it if somebody would correct me on that because that would be.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Epic, I would think. I mean, to experience these worlds, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just to be able to explore and stuff.
Oh yeah, like hey, check this out, or hey, I found this part we needed, or something.
Yeah.
You know, or figured this puzzle out.
Well, we are getting what's that game that they just said they're coming out with free VR support for, and it's going to be an open world exploration game.
Euro Trucker?
No. Come on now.
Yeah, I think it's Euro Trucker.
No.
I'm trying to think.
Somebody's going to say it in chat before I can find it, I'm sure.
What, that's out now, you mean, that they're adding VR to?
Yeah. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky. That's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that does look amazing. Yeah. That would be. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, and so that's going to be co-op. Yeah, that's going to be so you can actually play that in VR with people that are flat screen too.
Yeah, I think that is ultimate. That's what every game I feel like should be.
I think that game's going to be huge. I'm super excited for it. So, and I'm hoping it actually goes on sale before the VR support gets released, because you can buy the regular game and then the VR support is going to be a free add-on. So if you catch it, if you catch it for sale somewhere, it'd be a good time to.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely.
Gaming and Still Life said he just bought No Man's Sky for half off.
Really? Where at?
Yeah, let us know where that's at.
Did you get it off like a website or
Steam or something? I don't know what the price is on Steam right now.
Yeah.
But.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should do that for sure. Because I'll definitely want that game. It kind of reminds me of what between Elite Dangerous and From Other Suns.
Yeah.
Like a mix between visuals and how the game works and everything.
And I loved From Other Suns. That was awesome. But I mean, just the look of being in the plane thing and driving around. It's just open world. Like, it's just so fun to just go in and explore it, especially be able to do with other people. Like, that's what I'm excited about.
Oh, totally. Oh yeah.
So he said he bought it last week on Steam. He said, I don't know if it's still on sale. You could pull up. Why don't you pull up Steam once this is over and see what the price is?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll pull it up now.
See what price we're looking at.
Bus driving simulator. Sure.
There you go. Definitely need that. There you go.
Yeah, it says 59.
Oh yeah.
So it's not for sale in here.
Not on sale, yeah. So it must have been last week.
Steam,
it must have been last week. He said when he got it. It's a bummer. Because I mean, for a VR game, that's crazy amounts of money now.
Oh yeah.
Most VR games like top of the mark is like $39, $49. So.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it does look really good.
But I mean, even at $60, it's probably going to be worth it. I mean, I would still prefer to get it on sale.
Yeah, I mean, I did get Fallout 4, I think, on sale. But
yeah.
I've been wanting it for a while, but yeah, when this drops, because it's co-op, I'll buy it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. What if it comes out at the same time as Stormlands? I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want them at the same time.
I don't know. I'd probably wait. I might wait. Probably not. But
yeah, I don't know. I think they're both going to be really good.
They will.
I think we're going to spend.
Co-op has more of a replay value.
Well, Stormlands will have co-op too, though.
But does it have true co-op?
Yeah, Stormlands. Yeah, it's got co-op.
Is it open world though, or is it?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's open world. Yeah.
I just like open world so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with co-op and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So this trailer you're showing here is for the actual flat game, but I'm guessing in VR it'll all be first person though, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
So that'll be good.
It's all first person, except for maybe like little loading like screens in between.
Yeah. Are you playing something? Because nothing's playing.
I was trying, but it doesn't.
Black screen. So kind of bummed we missed out on that sale. We should pick that up. Half off. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Oh man, we should probably wrap this up here pretty soon. We've been streaming for 82 minutes, so.
Yeah, we could probably talk forever.
No, but I mean, we need to. I mean, if people want us to do this, we could do this more often. I mean, just the getting up.
Sit here and do it anyways. We've been talking. Oh. We get on. We're like, okay, we'll get on. We'll play something. We sit here and talk for an hour.
Yeah. That's actually what gave us this idea. I think it was last Saturday or the Saturday before. We were getting ready to play, and we literally just sat here and talked about the new stuff, the Rift S and everything coming out. We're like, man, we should just do a live stream and try to talk to some people and chat and stuff. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just fun to hang out and chat with people.
Definitely. So yeah, and it helps to everyone to actually see somebody. It's hard in virtual world. You don't really know anybody. You just know their name,
right? And
how they play and what they play. So
yeah, but although they did just come out with that realistic avatars for Oculus, so I haven't checked it out. I'm pretty sure I get the Oculus updates at like later than everybody else. Like my software hasn't updated yet, so I don't know if I have that update yet or not. But I don't know if anybody's checked that out yet. But
I hear some people restarting their computer. I had a full update already with Oculus Driver even update.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know.
I got to push, but
might have to check that out.
It's just different.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. So, but yeah. So maybe we'll do this again next Saturday or something. We'll try to do this a little more often. Sure. Hopefully we can get the technical difficulties figured out, because it took us about an hour. It took us about an hour to get this one figured out before we could actually.
Maybe we'll push it out there just to get some more people involved and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't really.
If you guys ever want to post it up for us in like Facebook or Reddit or anything like that.
Yeah, and we didn't really advertise anything for this one because we didn't know what we were doing. We just put something out in our Discord. So, and we don't have many people on there, but if you guys want to join our Discord, I know a lot of you guys are already in there. I know Steve XM's already on Discord, and we were actually hitting him up for help. So he was a big help today.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna push out that one video today on the headsets, the PSVR headsets, just to give you guys a little bit closer view of it. I tried to just make a quick and sweet video, but nothing special. And I don't like really being on camera, so
yeah, I don't really either. This is the first time. It's not bad when you're on camera when you have a headset over your face and you're standing back here. That's a little bit easier, but yeah, so
that's true
for sure.
Yep. All right.
So Gaming and Still Life asked how did you do this show? We just basically did it on Discord. So we're just on a Discord video call right now, which I don't think is the best way to do it. It's just what we had available at the time.
Yeah.
So he said
we've done some stuff with like Streamlands, TeamViewer, and but you get so much stuff running, it just becomes a little too complicated. So we've been trying to mainstream.
Yeah, he asked about.
We've done some cool live streams though, that's pretty cool. Check that out.
Yeah, it's hard to do. It takes a lot of.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it makes it hard to get kills and stuff in games. It seems like everything's slowed down. But he mentioned Google Hangouts, which maybe that's something we need to look into too. We haven't tried anything with that. And we could also do, if we started doing this more often, we could have some more people come on the show too, if we're able to get their video feed too.
Absolutely.
If some more people want to come on and just hang out and chat with us, it's just for fun. I mean, we just do it to have a good time.
We could even do something inside of our Discord as well. Stream our videos inside of there and onto here. So,
for sure.
So that you guys could literally participate in it.
Yeah, Gaming and Still Life said he would come on. I'm sure we could get Gaming and Still Life on. I'm sure Steve XM wouldn't mind coming on.
For sure.
And definitely check out Steve XM's channel, because he's the man to go to for live streams. He's got an awesome setup. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The next one I need to try and tackle is I would love to get my the chats inside of VR on the wrist with I can't think what it's called right now.
Dashboard.
Where you get
or Dash, Oculus Dash or whatever.
No, it's not Oculus Dash though. There's actually a software you can run that attaches it to your controller.
Nice.
You pull up your hand over and it brings it up and enlarges it and stuff. I have it. I forget what it's called.
Nice.
But still, it was a little sketchy working, right? So
yeah, cool.
Stuff like that's just tough to do unless you haven't done it.
True that.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
All right, man. Yeah.
Well, we should probably get out of here, and we'll try and do this again.
I'll have coffee now again.
Yeah, me too. And the wife just made some killer cupcakes, and I haven't had one yet, so I can't wait to get out there and try one of those.
Right, exactly.
So I need to figure out how to end this though. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel and stuff, and hopefully we'll do this again and put out. And Schmitty's gonna put out that video on those headphones after this. So check that out.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for coming in. I mean, this is definitely just a test, and we had some people in there at least talking to us and helping us out. So that was good. So we really appreciate that.
Awesome.
So
yeah.
Sounds good. All right, fellas. We will see you next time.
Yeah, definitely. We'll try and do this weekly.
Yeah, try to. Yeah, try to. So Saturday mornings are a good time for us.
Yeah, we'll try and push out ahead of time. If you guys.
For sure. All right, well, thanks a lot for coming. We'll see you guys
in
VR, hopefully.
See ya.